Shalom. First, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakadash. Let's get into it with Ecclesiastes 15, or known as Sirach 15. And we're going to start at verse 1. Sirach 15 and 1. He that feareth the Most High will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. So yeah, if you have the knowledge of the law, you shall attain her. Talking about wisdom. Wisdom is going to learn this, start dwelling with you and supping with you. Once you have knowledge of the laws, and the law meaning the law, statutes, and commandments, and the statutes and the ordinances talking about in the Bible. Jake like to harp on, his, like to harp on, it's 10 commandments. No, man, it's 613 of them, man. It's 613 laws. So now will the law save us? No, the law would not save us, because we're all guilty of breaking the law. Every single Negro, Latino, and Native American from the tribe of Israel is guilty of breaking the law. So the law is not going to save us, but we should be rehearsing the righteous acts, man. And then wisdom will begin to, you'll be able to attain wisdom. And that's the understanding of these breakdowns, these dark sayings, which is the ultimate knowledge on the planet, is the Bible. It says, as a mother shall she meet him and receive him as a wife married of a virgin. So she's going to meet you like a mother, nourish you, and she's going to, that wisdom, Sophia, is going to treat you like a virgin, like you the only one. She's the only one that that you've been with. That that you're the only person that she's been with. So she's going to come with you and dwell with you. Because when you have a virgin, you're supposed to be with that virgin forever. A woman supposed to have one penis in her life. Verse 3. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. So she's going to give you the water of wisdom to drink. So she's going to nourish you, man, once again, and start building you up. Knowing how to deal with these demons out here. Dealing with these demons. When I'm saying demons, I'm talking about these people out here. These 2/3 of the nation of Israel, these wicked ass niggas, these wicked ass spicks, and these wicked ass tontos, man. These prairie niggas. And it's also going to teach you how to navigate through the scriptures, man. In order to receive these breakdowns, of the scriptures, man, of this Bible. Verse 6, 5, Salakia, verse 5, she shall exalt him above his neighbors. Yeah, once you start obtaining wisdom, she's going to exalt you among your neighbors, man. Talking about your brothers, you so-called, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Israelites. And it's talking about those type of neighbors. We ain't talking about Ralph that lives next door to you, or Mbutu, that lives next door to you. The so-called white man should not your fucking neighbor, Jake. Or these heathens, they're not your neighbors. We're talking about fellow Israelites who are your neighbor. It says, in the midst of the congregation, she shall open his mouth. So in the midst of the congregation, which the congregation is of men, Wisdom Sophia is going to make you open your mouth and start wanting to bring this word out. Make you want to go out to the highways and byways and proclaim this word, man. You know, Sophia is going to light a fire in you like Jeremiah talked about, where you can't control yourself, man. You just got to bring it out week in, week out. Whether you want to or not, whether you're tired or not, the Spirit just drives you, you know, to put the work in, man. Salakia, I'm just getting off the plantation. Salakia for yawning. It says, he shall find joy and a crown of gladness, and she shall cause him to inherit an everlasting name. Yeah, so that's what wisdom is doing to the man of the Lord right now. Having us work on an everlasting name. You know, being the elect, which the elect is always going to be mentioned, you know, forever and ever, man. You know, it's going to give us, Lord willing, I'm of that number, a part of the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel here in Babylon in America, that, you know, I want to obtain that everlasting name, man. It says, hey, and you shall find joy and a crown of gladness, because you know all this is going to come to an end. You know, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's rulership is coming to an end. You know, we know that we're going to be on top. We're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And you know, there's some bitter to it. But you get past that once you get, you know, deeper into, once you get deeper and deeper, and you be in this truth longer and longer, man, you know, gladness start coming, sitting in more, because you know, man, whatever happened to Jake, you know, the Most High sanctioned it, man. You know, he gave the green light for Jake to be in that condition. You know, and then most important, that we have a Savior that's coming back to deliver the 1/3, the elect. You know, Lord willing, I'm of that number. You know, that he's going to come back and deliver us, man. That he hasn't forgotten about us. That the Most High Yahweh is going to send his son back, Yahweh Shah, to break us out of prison, man. Us Israelites are still in bondage. You know, we're still under the thumb of the so-called white man. He still has his foot on our necks, man. I don't care how much money you got. You know, you could be from Michael Jordan to Tyler Perry to Oprah. You are still controlled by the so-called white man. You know, you're just a poor, you know, paid slave, man. You're a highly paid slave. You know, and the men of Israel, we're supposed to be kings and priests, not, you know, asking the so-called white man for, you know, can he come turn our power on? Can he give us a loan? Can he turn our water utilities on and shit like that, man? So that brings us joy and gladness to the elect that we almost done with this fucking devil, man. Verse 7. But foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her. So yeah, but foolish men, you know, first thing a nigga say is, hey, like I was listening to this one guy on YouTube, the Amazing Lucas. he said he's starting to think, man, there's not even a God. And that's what a fool says, man. You know, he's very articulate, you know, speaks well. But, you know, he's getting to the point where he don't even believe in a power. So he's nothing but a fool. You know? He says, and sinners shall not see her. So yeah, wisdom is not going to dwell in a sinner, man. And wisdom of this world is not wisdom. You know, we're talking about the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of these scriptures, man. These breakdowns and the laws that was given to us, man. You know, that's the highest knowledge on the planet. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her. Yeah, so she's far from pride. You can't boast yourself once Sophia wisdom starts supping with you. Because not too long ago, you know, you was eating pork, didn't know anything. You read the Bible backwards and forwards, didn't understand what none of this stuff say, man. You didn't understand not one damn, you know, you couldn't even understand Genesis 1:1, man. So you can't boast on yourself saying, oh, I came up with these breakdowns, you know, this, that, and the third. When all this wisdom that you obtain, even myself, we got it from the Most High, man. He had to send his son, you know, to start, you know, even dealing with us, man. So there's a lot of processes that had to take place before a nigga can just stand up and say, hey, you know, I've been learning this X amount of years. I'm on this type of level. You know, you can't say that, man. Now the scriptures do say, study to show thyself approved. But on that note, you can't boast and say, oh man, you know, I was the one breaking this down, this, that, and the third. You know? When all wisdom is given from the Most High, man. You know, so you got to remember that and keep yourself humble. You know, it was a gift, pretty much. It says, verse 9, praise is not seemly in the mouth of a sinner, for it was not sent him of the Most High. So yeah, a sinner's not going to praise Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, because a sinner is boasting in himself. Saying he's the reason he's on top. He's the reason he's rich. You know, he made all these moves on his own. You know? When in 1 Samuel 2:6, when the Most High says, hey man, he maketh rich and he maketh poor, roughly paraphrasing, man. You can't do nothing without the Most High being over it. You know? But yet, Jake getting this truth. And you know, and they get built up with pride. You know, knowledge, it puffs you up, man. So you got to know how to, you know, ask for to stay humble and be very cautious once you start attaining a knowledge, man. Once wisdom starts to dwell with you, because you get puffed up in knowledge. And I've seen many men, you know, fall off and go right back into the world, man. You know, being puffed up with knowledge, with pride. It says, shall be uttered in wisdom, and the Most High will prosper it. So yeah, you still say when you praise. So like I'm trying to read and drive. It says, "For praise shall be uttered in wisdom." Yeah, you're going to be more wise and calling on the right names when you praising your power, man. You're not going to be calling on Jesus and saying God and Yahuwah and Yehudi and and what else? Yahushua and Yah. You're going to have the true knowledge to call on the true names, man. And it says the Most High will prosper it, man. So that's a good sign. Wisdom and the Most High is dealing with you when He give you His name. You know? Verse 11, say not thou, it is true that the Most High that I fell away, for thou oughtest not to do the things that He hateth. Yeah, so you can't blame nothing on the Most High, man. The Most High is blameless. It's all on you, Jake. What did you do to fall away, man? How did you fall away from the Most High? And the way our people always fall away, man, is, Jake has a problem with sin, man, and wanting to be like the other nations. So you can't say you put that on the Most High. Oh, the Most High maybe did it. No, the Most High is blameless, man. What you should be asking is, how can you get back on track and get back in good graces with Yahweh Shem Shah, man? What do I need to do in order to please my power, man? That's what you need to be focused on. Verse 12, say not thou, he have caused me to err, for he have no need of the sinful man. So the Most High ain't making you sin. He didn't do nothing to make you sin. You taking that all upon yourself, Jake. When Jake was out here being a damn nigga, he's standing up, beating on his chest, saying it's all me, I'm doing this, that, and the third. But when it's time to take accountability, Jake got every excuse in the book, man. Jake has every single excuse in the book why he can't do this, why he don't want to keep the laws. So the Most High can't use a sinful man, and He's not going to use a sinful man in His ministry. The Most High, you can't pull a fast one on Yahweh Shem Shah. Jake like to think they so slick, but you can't get over on Yahweh Shem Shah, man. He knows who's sincere and who's not, and it's just a matter of time. The Spirit's gonna sniff you out, man. But put it like this, they already see you doing it. They're just waiting on the time to expose you, man. So the Most High don't have no use for a sinful man. And I think I'm gonna end it off on that. So man, you gotta get wisdom. And the beginning of wisdom is fearing the Most High, man. And how do you fear the Most High? By start keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability here in Babylon. And it's just that simple, bro. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Before I do, I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Shalom.